everybody, so we got a fun review today as we're discussing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. Even though I don't talk that much about TMNT on the channel, I actually have a whole lot of nostalgia for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles at large. I've grown up with them pretty much my entire life, whether it be the 90s live action films, the 80s series, or just many of the other animated series along the way. I pretty much have tuned in to almost all of them at this point, so you can imagine I was pretty hyped for this new movie just because it had so much excitement around the promotional material. I love the cast, and it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'm always going to tune into that stuff. After years of being sheltered from the human world, the Turtle Brothers set out to win the hearts of New Yorkers and be accepted as normal teenagers. But when they take on a mysterious crime syndicate, they soon get in over their head when an army of mutants is unleashed upon them. One major thing that I always admire about the TMNT franchise is how over the years the franchise continues to evolve. Every new iteration, it crafts new ways to bring in a new audience, while more often than not still has elements for longtime fans to enjoy. And TMNT Mutant Mayhem is the perfect example of that, managing to capture a fun, unique, and fresh tone with a brand new introduction to these iconic characters, and might be one of my new favorite iterations of TMNT to date. The film is just a blast all around. It's overflowing with energy, especially with how electrifying everything looks visually. I'm really liking ever since Spider-Verse we've seen a rise in 2D CGI hybrid animation. At this point, we've pretty much seen the Turtles represented on screen in various different formats, whether it's live action, CG. However, the style utilized in Mutant Mayhem might be my new personal favorite just because I think everything about it makes everything pop off the screen. It really enhances everything but adds a lot of fun, interesting dynamics to the action sequences at large. All of the action in this, the turtle action, whether they're fighting Superfly or the various other different mutants, all of that stuff is fantastic. It's some of the coolest turtle action I've ever seen on screen. Felt like it was the comic books or the animated series brought to life with a new visual medium. Animation-wise, I certainly do think people are going to draw comparisons between this and Spider-Verse, but I do think the style utilized in Mutant Mayhem is just distinct enough where it's its own thing. It's not trying to copy Spider-Verse's animation style. Something that can really make or break a new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie is the way that it presents the dynamic between the Turtle Brothers, and within Mutant Mayhem, I do like the dynamic here because it feels refreshingly different. A big reason for that, I feel, is for the first time in these theatrical TMNT movies, they actually just feel like teenagers. All four of the actors that voice the Turtles in this are anywhere between 17 and 19 years old, and you see that come through in the dialogue exchanges between the four of them. Their dialogue to one another, their attitude, the way that they joke around adds so much charm, and you do feel the camaraderie of them as brothers even when they get into petty arguments and talking over each other in conversations, whether they're interacting with Splinter or April O'Neil. A lot of the humor in this movie is pretty great, and they are at the forefront of pretty much all of the greatest jokes in the movie. All four of them still very much feel like Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello, and Raphael, but they're just younger, immature versions because they are coming into their own as characters. This is kind of an origin story, if you will. Outside of the core four Ninja Turtles, this cast, it's just stacked from top to bottom with top tier talent. I mean, there's so many different people that I don't want to go rambling on forever about every single performance in the movie, but the ones I do think I want to highlight the most are Jackie Chan as Splinter. Just pure, perfect casting. I love what they did with his character and having him be the mentor for the Turtles in this. Feels very much in line with a Jackie Chan role. Bebop and Rocksteady being voiced by Seth Rogen and John Cena works surprisingly well. Ice Cube voicing Superfly pretty much just feels like Ice Cube. I mean, let's be real here, but he's a very interesting antagonist. Aya Inabari was a pretty decent interpretation of April O'Neil. She's certainly not my favorite interpretation of the character, but she's not my least favorite either. Out of all the various different TMNT films we've gotten over the last few decades, this is definitely the one that has the most characters from the franchise, even deeper cut kind of characters like Genghis Frog or Mondo Gecko, Wingnut, and many other characters too, like Baxter Stockman's voiced by Giancarlo Esposito. A lot of characters. There's so much references in TMNT Mutant Mayhem that I think if you're a longtime fan of the Turtles, you're going to be hyped because there are references galore sprinkled throughout the entire movie. It almost is crazy the amount of references to the franchise. Almost too many. Another major highlight to Mutant Mayhem is I love the way that we weave together the story here. Of course, we've seen the introduction to the Turtles dozens of times over the years, but it's the amount of heart put behind their journey in this outing, wanting to be part of the leading them on this adventure to try and take down Superfly and other various mutants. It's a very endearing new origin story. We've seen many origin stories over the years, but I think this is a sweet, heartfelt one. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem just has everything that you desire in a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film. Great turtle action, a lot of heart, and some great laughs that bring out the childlike wonder of how I felt growing up with these characters. This is the type of film that I think all types of TMNT fans are going to enjoy, whether you're a longtime fan of the franchise, or maybe you have children that want to get into the franchise. I think this is also a fantastic introduction to the TMNT brand at large. It truly has been another fantastic year for the animation genre at large. Between this, Spider-Verse, Nimona, the Super Mario Bros. Movie, it's a really stacked year for animation. But now I've heard my thoughts on TMNT Mutant Mayhem. Make sure you share your thoughts down below. Once you get a chance to check out the film, did you like the film? Did you not like the film? Share all your thoughts down below, because part of the funness is having that conversation with you guys in the comment section down below. Thank you guys, as always, share out their videos. I always do appreciate it. Make sure you leave a like on the video and also subscribe to the channel to update reviews, reactions, unboxings, and more. Next time, I'll see you guys later.